Hey there guys, and thanks for viewing this video. So today I'm going to show you how to get a Scuf controller absolutely free without spending a single dime. Okay, so basically what you want to do first of all is you want to turn on you want to make sure your PlayStation 4 is turned on. And then you want to go up and you want to scroll over to settings. And then once you're on settings, you want to scroll up to accessibility. Once you're in accessibility, you want to scroll down to button assignments. Once you're in button assignments, you want to go to custom button assignments. Now, as you can see here, you can see every single button that you have on your PlayStation 4 controller. For the purpose of this video, as you can see, I've got a loadout already changed here. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to reset. Yes, I've reset everything, so it's back to a standard controller now. So basically, yeah, what I wanted to say is before I get into explaining this, I just wanted to say this isn't going to give you an exact Scuf controller, but this is like the next best thing. The only way for you to get a Scuf controller is to buy a Scuf controller. That's the only way. So, you know, I wouldn't go searching on the internet to find an actual Scuf controller with paddles on the back of your controller unless you're going to make some sort of investment. Okay, so this is going to allow you to have a similar mobility to a Scuf controller online. I can promise you that. So this is basically like a slight Scuf controller, and I'm gonna get into the details now, and you're gonna see why. Okay, so basically, the first button you want to change. And before I explain about changing these buttons, I know some of you are thinking, well, you can just go on to the options. You can just go on to options and change your button layout on many first-person shooter games or many games. Most a Scuf controller is mainly used for first-person shooter games, I assume. They're the main games I play anyway myself, so I wouldn't, I don't have the knowledge. Maybe they're good for other games as well, but I don't know. But personally, yeah, I know basically some of you are probably thinking, well, you can go and you can change it on some games. You can change it on many games. A lot of games you can change it on. Most games you can change your button loadout on. But this is going to allow you to customize your button layout. It's going to allow you to completely change your controller and its commands for any first-person shooter game that you play. So, you can have it set out like this, and you won't need to bother going onto options. You won't need to bother changing anything, and you can't always get the loadout you want anyway. So yeah, you can't always get the loadout anyway. So basically, what I'm going to show you is you want to go down to X for the first button, and you want to click on X, and as you can see, it comes up on the right hand side of the list of all the buttons, and you just want to map it to R3. So you confirm that. Once that's done, you'll see it change on there. Basically, what that's done is that's changed X over to R3, which is basically the right analog stick when you click it in. So it's changed your R3 button, which I'm going to give Call of Duty an example. I'm going to use that as an example. R3 is usually your knife button. So you've switched over knife to X. So you've just got to get used to when you go to knife people, you've got to get used to you've got to think, and you'll get used to it. But you've got to use X as a knife button. But basically, what this allows you to do is it allows you to use R3 as your jump button now. So you can jump around corners and aim and shoot at the same time, which gives you a massive advantage over your enemies. Basically, it just acts exactly the same way as a right paddle would on a Scuf controller. So there we go. There's your right paddle. So you don't have to take any fingers off of any buttons, and you can have it on, R3 all the time and jump whenever you want whilst aiming and shooting at the same time. Unfortunately, you need your left analog stick to run. It's a mobility button. So unfortunately, you can only really have one paddle. So, but what you could do is you could swap your jump for your drop shot or your prone if you really wanted to. By all means, change any of the other buttons if you want, but I don't see why you would want to. Which then brings me along to this side. You want to change your L1 bumper button to L2 trigger, and as you can see, you can see what's coming next. R1 to R2. So basically, yes, this is just flipped your triggers. I know you can do this on the options button on many first-person shooter games, but you can have it here set up already. And basically, what this has allowed you to do is it's basically swapped over, and it's given you a much quicker advantage. Well, a slight advantage anyway. It's like having trigger stops on the Scuf controller. If you look on your controller now and you try it now, if you was to push in, if you was to push in your R2 button to shoot, or your L2 button to aim, and then if you try L1 and R1, it's much quicker. It's a much quicker response time. So again, you've got an advantage over your enemies. I don't see why you would not want to do that. I know many pro players on first-person shooter games actually flip it over unless they've got a Scuf controller, then it's already done for them. So it's almost like having a brake on a bicycle, and you've just tightened it so it bites at a much earlier point. So you brake quicker, and you brake on a much quicker responsive time. So there we go, guys. Thanks very much. And what you want to do then is you can just cancel out of it, and as long as that top box is ticked, it's on. So there we go. Cheers, guys, and thanks for viewing this video, and I hope you enjoyed, and please let me know how you get on with this loadout, and please leave a comment, rate and subscribe. Thank you very much.